Are you in the market to get a new graphics card? Are you looking forward to upgrading your system? Maybe building a new rig for AI or gaming? Well, you're in luck. The past few years have been a rough years for hardware enthusiasts, okay? It's been rough. There was COVID, then there was after COVID, then there's today. Makes you concerned about tomorrow. But let's talk about the good stuff, right? So, NVIDIA, AMD announces its secret plan to beat NVIDIA, according to this Tech Radar article. And it's not really a secret plan. I'm exaggerating there for YouTube purposes. I've tried being reasonable, and you people don't like reason. So we'll try being unreasonable and see if that gets some results. All right. So, RX 970 or 9070 graphics cards. All right. The 50 series graphics card, for those of you who might or might not be aware of this, RTX 5000 series graphics cards have actually been rather hard to get a hold of. So much so that it's helped keep the values of RTX 40 series graphics cards up. AMD has announced a plan to help make major gains against NVIDIA's domination of the GPU marketplace. And that plan is simply to have more graphics cards available for a slightly lower price. That's right, almost comparable performance for a significant price savings. And not only that, but also having the cards in stock as well is probably going to make these pretty popular in the upcoming years. Let's see here. So NVIDIA has been trying to do its best to resupply its RTX 50 series cards, codenamed Blackwell, right? It's not been having much luck with that recently. And I feel like a big part of that is that most of these chips are probably going towards AI graphics cards, or rather most of NVIDIA's manufacturing resources are probably towards its more enterprise grade customers who are buying thousands of these at a time. For just me and you, who might buy like one. If we got money to flex, maybe two. I ain't got it like that yet, but maybe one day I will have it like that. One day. Thanks to the availability of AMD's medium and high-end GPUs, they're slowly gaining back market share. It turns out when you have a choice between a $2,000 GPU and a $1 or $1,200 GPU that's almost comparable, most people go with that. It seems at the end of the day that price is king. I wonder if it's because everybody's broke. I know I am. I looked at the price. There's been times I've had it like that. I've been like, ooh, that's a bill. I am about to drop a whole bill on a graphic. Uh, Again, maybe one day, maybe you people out here in YouTube land can help me get there. And then I shall pass the graphics cards on to you. I mean, I only need one. If two or three happen to find its way to me, and then they happen to find its way to you, hey, am I trying to bribe you? Yes. But for me to bribe you, first I need funds. I need you to help me. Click like and subscribe, please. And we'll move on to the next story. Second on the news articles is Cloudflare's browser-based solution for secure third-party access. Oh yeah. So basically, if you're using some type of RDP gateway solution, Cloudflare is coming for that too. I personally use Apache Guacamole. It is a self-hosted open source RDP gateway, and I use it to access my servers remotely when I need to, or even locally. It's actually very convenient. I have a video on how to spin that up somewhere back on the channel. Go look. It's back there behind me, maybe above me, maybe below me. Who knows? Anyways, this article, or I guess announcement from Cloudflare, talks about the security challenges of RDP and why it's a necessity, because it's useful and it works and it's convenient. But when first released, RDP had some thieving issues. Teething issues? Yeah. RDP had some teething issues. It had some security concerns and problems, and people would often scan your network for open ports, in this case, port 3389, in order to access your RDP servers. And of course, people would put their RDP servers online with stuff like a username called administrator and a password that equals password, and then be surprised why they got hacked. But that was in the old days, in ancient times. RDP is a lot more secure now. And because of that, it's being used a lot more. It probably would have been used even if it wasn't secure, but yeah, right. RDP is useful because it allows you to grant access to external parties, right? And again, most of the time this is used using something like Windows RDP Gateway, Apache Guacamole, Devolution's Gateway. But these solutions are well, they work. They work just fine, but they have their problems. For instance, you have to maintain them. Every server you spin up is time you have to spend maintaining. It's a pain in the ass. Two, it adds another level of complexity for your end users to access your applications. They have to install the RDP server. They have to either install the VPN. It's a lot. It's a lot for an end user. Why burden their mind? Why burden yourself? Third, some of these RDP gateways, even though they're open source and free, Apache Guacamole, might not necessarily meet security compliance. So depending on where you're running this, you might have to use an even crappier solution. This is where browser-based RDP comes in. Or in this case, Cloudflare's announcement for browser-based RDP. That's right. If you're running a Cloudflare tunnel, eventually your Cloudflare tunnel will be able to contact RDP hosts, or I guess RDP servers, over that tunnel. So you don't have to spin up anything extra. If you're already self-hosting and exposing services to the internet, congratulations. One day Cloudflare is going to push an update, and then all of a sudden you can get rid of your Apache Guacamole server. I run one because it works, but maintaining it, I run a security update. I got an Ansible job to run security updates once a week, right? Try not to expose it to the internet too much. Okay, let's see. And then the rest of this article is just Cloudflare talking about the backend infrastructure, which, while somewhat entertaining to me, I doubt you'd have much interest in, unless you would have interest in it. In which case, comment down below. How can I know what you want if you don't tell me in the comment section? All you guys do is get in there and ask for help. I'm sorry, I am not a tech psychic. I can't zoom into your environment and instantly abstract what your issue is. The most I can do is maybe ask you some questions that I hope you lead yourself to the answer. Right? And honestly, I'm doing that for free. That's how much I care about you. Okay. Let's see. Well, basically, that's it. The rest of this article talks about this. I just thought this was interesting and cool. Hopefully what this means is that eventually I can get rid of my Apache Guacamole server, and so can you. Unless, of course, you're not using Cloudflare to host your domain, in which case, why are you not? For a home lab scenario, it offers so many benefits. And I mean, sure, you're giving a third-party organization direct access to your private network. But you already do that. They've done it, boys. They actually went out and did it. Are you running your own local version of Netflix? Have you heard of Plex? What is it? Hold up. Let's start. What is Plex? Plex is your own locally hosted media server. I actually run my own Plex server, and I have several terabytes of Linux ISOs that I stream from that Plex server, right? So, some years ago, I purchased Plex Pass, and what that basically does, it allows you to use the more advanced features with Plex. Like, for instance, streaming content from your Plex server to your phone, which I have my feelings about. I feel like if I've paid for a service, I shouldn't then have to go and pay another monthly fee to, again, I could complain a lot. But I've been using Plex so long, I find moving off of it difficult. Right. I could spin up an MB server. Who got time for that? It works. And moving off of it would cost me more than an hour. Or I guess about 15 minutes of my time. Right? I did the math on that. The over-under on moving to an MB server is several hours of my time. So that means I can generally get away with probably, I can afford the monthly Plex Pass for my one single iPhone. All right. However, what I find trifling with Plex is that they're, one, raising the price of the annual plan, two, raising the price of the lifetime plan, and from what they're doing, it seems that eventually they'll be getting rid of the lifetime plan eventually, and they're going to slowly paywall more and more features of Plex behind Plex Pass. Eventually, Plex itself will be a Plex Pass feature. Thankfully, There are open source alternatives, boys. You could spin up an Envy server. You could. Nowadays, I have other things to spend my time on. The older I get, the more and more responsibilities are thrust upon my shoulders. It's very annoying. I wish I could be young again, but make the same amount of money and have no responsibilities. And I know what you're thinking. Mr. Low Spec, you're not that old. You're only 28. What if I told you I was a million-year-old warlock? What if I told you I had been reincarnating on this plane of existence for 10,000 years? Enough of that. As always, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have a comment about one of these articles we covered, leave a comment. If you want to get more, please subscribe. Don't miss out.